Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate SNS. I hope everyone's been having a great week so far. So if you're in the Florida area, you need to get some of these updates that's happening with the Hurricane Ian that's coming in. So it's looking like a possible landfall sometime midday tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. And it's supposed to be somewhere between Fort Myers and Tampa is what they're looking at. We're going to show you a few of the graphs that they've got going on right now. But on top of this, if you're up some of the northern areas, need to also be aware of the storm surge that's going to be brought in. So we're also going to put a clip up here for you so you can kind of tell what's going to be affected in your area. There's going to be some areas further north up in the Panhandle that are still looking at about 3 foot of storm surge, and as you move down south, you're looking at anywhere between 5 to 12 feet. That's an impressive storm surge. They're saying this is probably like one of the storms of the century, one of the worst we've seen in a long time. Even though it is only expected to be a Category 3, possibly 4 whenever it hits the coast, the storm surge that it's bringing with it is insane. I mean, it's kind of historic levels from what they're talking about, guys. But we're going to show some of the radar stuff, kind of get you a closer look here where you can see what's happening. So why it's important that you always make sure you have a plan, especially if you live in areas where you're prone to hurricanes, tornadoes, and stuff like that. So something you need to be aware of too is as this moves inward and it starts to hit land, you're going to start having a lot of tornadoes coming out. They've already closed down Orlando airports, and there's a lot of the local schools that are going to be closing mainly because of flooding conditions on the roads. The school buses won't be able to be out and moving around, so you definitely need to check with whatever school district you're in, see if there's any closures for tomorrow, possibly even Thursday. Now, they have already put like 13,000 more electrical crew workers in to help with the power outages and stuff. Over in Tampa, they've already declared a state of emergency and have told people it is a mandatory evacuation. For those who don't know what that means if you decide to stay, they're not going to physically make you leave. But if you decide to stay and something happens and you're calling for, sheriff's department or, police or an ambulance or a fire truck or something like that, they're not going to respond until after the storm has happened. So they're not going to put their people in harm's way, basically, is what they're saying. So if you have a mandatory evacuation and you don't evacuate, you need to make sure you're thinking it through, make sure that you're prepared to handle the situations that's coming. With these storms and stuff like that, you're looking at a lot of high winds. Now, they were originally talking like this thing could be moving very slow, but what happened after it jumped over Cuba, it basically has picked up a lot of speed and it has started to swing east, as you can see in the diagrams that we're posting up, guys. So, uh, again, man, that's why we prep. It doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot of issue in this area. Now, I'm sure we will see some of that storm surge, as you can see on the backside. When you're looking around the Panhandle area, you're looking at around 3 foot probably in this area. But there again, may not be that bad. Might be worse. You just never really know. It depends all on what that storm's doing. But want to bring you updates as we can, guys. So something else we need to be aware of is if you don't know what the new Green Deal is, that was something that AOC and a bunch of other people had come up with, and it was supposed to be paying a bunch of money, up to several $1 trillion, to be able to get the environment clean. But it's not actually doing anything as far as cleaning the environment. It's just putting money in their pockets and in the pockets of their lobbyists as well. But Biden is now saying they need to start saving money. Something you need to understand about that Green New Deal is it was actually put up for vote several times in the Congress and in Senate, and it had never actually passed. So what they've done is they've broken it into smaller chunks, and they're hiding it in these other bills so they can still get it passed. And that, to me, that should be illegal for them to do that. But it is what they're doing. But again, Biden saying he's going to save money, guys. So we'll see if that happens. Now with inflation, I think most of us understand how that works. Everything's going to go up in cost. With the minimum wage of a lot of states now coming up to 15, 16 bucks an hour and things like that as well, you're going to continue to see those costs really climb up because you can't pay someone to flip burgers, $16 an hour and then sell a hamburger for $2. It just doesn't work that way. But something else you need to be aware of too is the impact that it's going to have on the elderly community. This inflation and stuff like that is going to start causing the medical costs to start going up. That's what they're reporting now. So you need to make sure if you have some kind of a spending plan or something like that with your retirement plans and stuff, I would definitely be looking into that because at least that money is going to go in there tax free, so it's not going to have a bunch of taxes taken on top of it as well. If you don't have good insurance, you need to start looking and seeing if you can find something that's fairly affordable, that's going to cover your needs as well. But I think most of that goes without saying, some common sense. But as we're closing out here, guys, get food, get as much as you can. Stockpile water, water filters, stuff like that. Make sure that you have, if you're using candles, that's fine. But if you're in storm situations, you really don't want a lot of fire, especially if you're going to be sitting in an area where they have given a mandatory evacuation order, because if you catch a house on fire, they're not coming out to put it out, guys. So that's something to think about as well. But everyone have a wonderful day. I am going to hop off of here.